All right, we're live for QuaranCOFFEE today. Again, Melissa Wiggans with the Real Estate Muses, and I am joined by, I would say, nothing less than the most amazing, talented miracle worker, Sarah Halbach. I had the opportunity to have you help me at my house. It's now been a little over a year and a half, and I need a refresh, no doubt. But you have to be the most genius space organizer in the entire world. Like, you made my house like a miracle had happened. And like you said, it's like a diet. I have to kind of keep maintaining it. So there's a little bit of maintenance issue on my end on both areas. But I wanted to just visit with you about tips for how to stay sane during this time while we're all at home, homeschooling, sheltering in place, trying to keep everyone we love harmonious in our house. And I think probably you would tell me that organization is the place to start. So I thought maybe you could give us some fun tips and tell us about you and your fabulous business.
Yes. Well, thanks for having me. I love getting to share. And this time is so crazy. It's where we're all kind of on top of each other. There's 5 of us in my home, and right now we're all sharing space. We're sharing everything. Everything's getting dirtier quicker. Everything's messier quicker. It's kind of shown me even where some of the weak spots are in my house and what's working and what's not working. And so, like you said, I love organizing because I feel like, and really science backs this, that when your area around you, your environment is cluttered and disorganized, it actually prohibits your brain's ability to think.
We lost you. Well, it seems like we lost her. She's this is a technical difficulty, but you're back. All right, sorry about that. So we lost you at it inhibits your ability to think, and so maybe
Yes.
that was just your
So,
computer agreeing with us.
yes, exactly. See, so when you have a lot of chaos in your life, it really does. And I think everyone's probably experiencing chaos on some level, whether it's with people or with working from home in a different environment. And so for me, when I feel like I cannot control the outside world, then I start cleaning and organizing, and which has been great because it has launched me into the profession I'm in today, and I love it. And so being home has actually provided me some more time to really do some of the projects that I had lined up in my head that I was going to, save for summer or, a weekend. And so I have been working around my house, cleaning up piles, decluttering, creating systems. I really believe in creating systems that serve you. I'm actually currently in my home office, which is a coat closet that I transformed into an office because we didn't have an office in this house. And so it's a very small closet that my kids endearingly call my cloffice. And I wallpapered it really fun and put a fun light up there. And then this is my mail system, actually. So these are brass envelopes from Target. They're $12.99. I bought 4 of them. And I stick my husband's in the top, mine in the second one. And then I kind of put my to-do projects, like this is some kids' art that I want to get framed. And then these are my current work projects. So a folder fits in here. So this stores so much paperwork and mail, but it's on the wall. And so it's real easy to create systems that work. And so we don't have any mail stack up anywhere in our house because right as soon as I go from the mailbox, I walk straight right in, sort it, throw away what I don't want, put my husband's, mine, and then I'm done. And so now's the time where I feel like people are probably craving more systems in their home. They're needing to have more structure because they do have more kids at home. We're having to homeschool in Spanish, which is hilarious, on apps on 2 different.
Oh. It dumped you again. This is important stuff here. Yeah, no, and you've got some important things to say. So here we go. Now we're back. Okay, there you
Okay.
are.
Sorry, I don't know why that's all happening. Part of what's
I
going on
know it's because every single person in town is using the internet right
internet.
now.
So we've been having that issue at our house with, I mean, I'm not used to my first and my fourth grader needing a device and internet. And it's just, so one of the things I will say we've done is we created a schedule, and I will show you an example. You know, when we were going to be home for extended spring break, I called it Halbach Camp Corona. And we, you know, I made it real fun, ordered a bunch of crafts off Amazon, and reality set in this week when it was going to be, we're extending Camp Corona for the foreseeable future, and we're adding in distant learning. And so this is round 2 of Camp Corona. So I'm trying to keep it fun for my kids. I want them to remember this time, honestly, as a time that their parents didn't go crazy, but that we were all home together and we spent a lot more time together, and that there was some structure and some fun. I'm not trying to recreate school, because this is confirming that I am not cut out to be a homeschool teacher for sure. I applaud teachers everywhere and homeschool moms. I actually just like working with people's stuff a lot more than teaching small children while wrangling a toddler. And so anyway, creating a schedule has been really key for us to kind of break up the day. I mean, it's almost in the same way that I break up, you know, and create systems in my house with my things. It's almost like I've created systems and a system and a zone for, this is our chore time. This is our, you know, outside activity time. And so, and this is our everybody go to the room quiet time. And that's really helped me stay sane. And it's also helped my kids know what to expect, instead of every day waking up and just not knowing like what today, especially because they haven't left the house.
This is a byproduct of the coronavirus. It's bad internet. I just said that this is a byproduct of the coronavirus, is the bad internet connection. So sorry.
Oh man, I mean, I don't know how that's happening, if it's happening on my end. I will say, I feel like one of the things that I've had to do is just give myself a lot of extra grace, which for somebody who likes things in order, I struggle with. And so just taking some deep breaths and realizing that things are not going to be smooth, like this, for example, you know, like some things are just not going to be smooth, and realizing that everybody's in the same boat of kind of trying to being thrown in the deep end and trying to figure things out. And so that is one thing that I've done, is just given myself extra grace and said, it's not always going to be like this. This is just a season. It will be over at some point. And trying to just maintain a little bit of inner peace on the inside. But I will say, when we do a kind of reset at the end of the day, that's what I've been calling it with my kids, is we reset the home back to, you know, a peaceful state, just put everything back in its home. It really does help wake up the next morning where, you know, who knows, something could have changed overnight with the news and the regulations. And so having at least my home feel peaceful and not cluttered and not disorganized has been helpful, as we've been, you know, inside most of the time. So anyway, those are some of my things that I think about when I think about staying organized and
what would you be to people that don't have the organizational hierarchy and the serenity that you have now? Like,
right,
where should I start?
So I would tell people this is a great time to edit, to edit. And I think this is actually an extremely productive time to do that, because you're home all day.
Wah, wah, wah. You're home all day, every day.
These are where those deep breaths come in handy. I thought if I just held my finger on it, that was the key. So you're home all day, every day. And so you probably are using things, you know, very often. And so this is a great time to evaluate what things you're not using. So step one is always reevaluating what you're using and not using, and getting rid of things that you no longer need and they're no longer serving you. And so, like, I'll give you one simple area. We have a sock bin on top of our dryer with all the single socks. So this week I told each kid, okay, I'm going to come to your room with the sock bin and we're going to see if you have the matching sock. So I went room to room with our sock bin, and it was something I could involve the kids in, like, let's find your socks and match them up. And at the end of that, I just threw away all the single socks that didn't have a pair. And so it was a simple, easy task that I could do, involve the kids. And for me, it felt like I accomplished something that day, which feels like a big feat right now when you kind of feel like you're scrambling and trying to keep your head above water. Doing one thing like that felt really good.
It does.
So that's a simple, as I say, like, you start in one drawer, start in one small area. Don't try to tackle the whole kitchen or the whole garage or your whole master closet. Start in your sock drawer, or start with your workout clothes, or start in your, kitchen silverware drawer, and get out all the little, plastic silverware you don't need, or straws or chopsticks from restaurants. Just clear one drawer a day, and slowly over the course of, quarantine, I think that your house really could be decluttered if you just did one simple thing a day and worked your way by just editing. And so that's what I would recommend. If you don't start getting rid of everything that you're not using or haven't worn and is not getting used, toys that are, I also had the kids, I will say this. I said, okay, we're going to go through every game.
Just when it gets good. All the secret tips. We're organizing games. Yes.
You know what? I will tell you, this is about how it is, like, organizing with kids. It has a million interruptions. It feels flustering. It feels like you can't, get through a thought or a sentence.
Right.
So that's where the grace comes in, and that's where starting small. And so maybe it's starting with one game. But my point was, I had my kids, we sat down and went through the games. Like, do we have all the Monopoly pieces? Do we have all the dice we need for this game? Or all the matching pieces here? Which that was an easy project that we could do together as a family. And it helped declutter. And so the ones that didn't have all the pieces that we could get rid of, we donated those. So that's another simple area you can do. And I'm a working mom, and so it's hard to try to include some of those things in. But I feel like this time period is just a unique time period where we're all having to ramp some things up and then, take a few steps back and spend some more time with our kids. And both are equally important and equally hard. And it's a balance daily for people, and for including me. So, yeah.
And I will say, one tip you gave me when you helped me organize at my house was to, take out all the toys that they hadn't played with in a while, and, put them in the garage for a week. And if no one asked for them, then it was okay to go ahead and rehome them and give them an opportunity to go and play with some other little girls and boys. So that was a tip that I really appreciated.
Yes. I about lost my mind when my kids were 5 and 3. So this was 5-ish years ago, because of the toy situation, and they weren't at the stage where they would clean up. And so I decided to get rid of 50% of their toys. And one, they never said anything about it. And two, they played with their toys more. And so that is one of the things that I realized is, sometimes as Americans, we think more is more. But what I've really realized is more equals more time that you have to organize.
This is the home organizing tongue tradition. Sorry about that.
Oh my gosh, it's like the hidden camera show where it just doesn't feel like real life, which kind of feels like being quarantined. I will say,
right? Like feels like real life right now. If it doesn't feel like real life. Oh, good. So you were saying that as Americans, we feel like more is more, but really that more isn't more when it comes to toys.
More equals more time maintaining, more time organizing, more time picking up. And so I am not a minimalist by nature, but I've almost become that because I've realized the time that it saves me by having less things. And I also realize that I use things that I love more, and but I'm holding on to things that I don't use for reasons that don't really make logical sense or match up with my goals in life. And so letting go, and this I think really probably is a sobering period for me and for a lot of people, is like what really is important. So I think we can all reevaluate items in our house that just aren't serving us well, that we can let go of, because we really are in a time where what's essential, what's necessary. And so I'm like, what clothes do I want to keep only the things I love, my favorites. That's why when, for your kids' toys, I'm like, what are the things that they love? Keep those, because this excess amount of toys is actually cluttering out the things that they don't use all the time, that they don't love. And so, and then what I found personally is that my kids played with their toys more. They went into the playroom more because they weren't as overwhelmed, and they can't articulate that because they're children, but they were overwhelmed by the amount of things in the playroom. And we think as parents we're loving them, and the grandparents love to send all these things, and we think that that's so great, and it is so great, and it's so well meaning, but for little kids, they can't articulate that they're overwhelmed.
Right.
And so more stuff, it actually isn't helpful for them. Less stuff with just a clear, organized.
More stuff or less stuff with a clear, organized system is the way to go, right?
Yes. The less stuff you have, the better. And then for what I would say, what we do and what I do in all my clients' home is I basically create a home for everything in my home. So everything has a home. So when you don't know where to start and you don't know what to do, you start with one drawer, one shelf, and you edit as much as you can so that you keep your favorites, and then you create a home. So you just gather all the like with like, all the arts and crafts supply, all the board games, all the books, you put all of those together and you create, and then you organize it. Sometimes I organize by color, sometimes I organize by, sleeve length. It just kind of depends. But when you create a home for everything in your home, it's kind of like an address. And so everybody knows where the scissors are, or the tape, or the stamps. And labeling it is great because it gets everybody on the same page. So you can order a labeler off Amazon for $25. And if you have older kids that can spell, that's a great project to do.
There we
Go around
go.
labeling things.
That's a
Labeling
spelling
drawers.
right there.
Right. I label all my kids' drawers. Like, here's where your short sleeve shirts go. Here's where your pants go, your underwear. So I label all their clothes, so that when they put their laundry back, which I just started making them do this year, they know where it goes.
That's awesome. Well, Sarah, when we get out of this shelter in place order, I need your help at my house. And so anyone else that needs your help, I think we've put up your Instagram so that they can follow you and just rule over your organized systems that you have online and contact you for their own home consultation and staging. And I just can't tell you how much I admire you as a mom, as a businesswoman, and I appreciate your time so much. And thank you very much for being patient through our internet shortage.
Oh my gosh.
Forget toilet paper. There's not enough bandwidth for everyone to go around. So thank you, Sarah. I don't know if we'll be able to reconnect with you, but you really are a fabulous organizer, and I'm trying to show you in my screen. Okay, there you are. You're coming live again.
Okay. Well, and also one of the things I was going to add is that I'm going to start doing virtual online organizing for people so that we can do like a FaceTime, see the space. I would give them recommendations and even send them a product link of things that they could order off Amazon or Container Store, have it shipped directly to their house, how to implement it and label. So that's one of the things that's coming. So people can reach out to me and we can work on, even I can just set up, here's almost a do-it-yourself DIY floor plan of how to organize, this space in your house. So it'd be very
awesome.
Yeah. So it'll be helpful for moms who are at home and want to create a system but don't know how. I would walk through it step by step with them over the internet, something like this. We'd see their space and I would send them product links of what products would support their space and meet their house decor design and everything. So
that's brilliant. had not even occurred to me, but that's a great way for you to be virtually organizing,
Right.
and you won't have any downtime. So
That's
take
right.
that, Corona. Like,
That's right. And it'll help
keep
other
on
moms.
going.
My heart goes out to moms. I mean, it's hard for me to be home. I love being out and about. So it'll help other moms who are home with their kids and feeling, the chaos. And so creating peace inside your home, I feel like quiets some of the noise that's outside our doors that we have no control over.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for your time, and let's do this again. I can't wait to do it in person so that we
Yes.
won't have to fight for internet bandwidth. But thank you for doing this, and I really admire you, like I was saying, as a mom and a businesswoman. And keep on organizing, because it's very inspirational to me. And so we'll get together.
Well, thank you. Yes,
Thank you.
I look forward to
All
that.
right. Take care. Thank you very much.
Talk to you soon.
Bye.
Bye.